Hey, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. So actually, I don't know why I named it that. I don't like saying my name out loud. I might change it. Probably not. Today's video is gonna be fun. I am making clothes for cats. I made this dress for a contest like a couple years ago, and I had leftover fabric, so I wanted to make something to match it, but it wasn't very much fabric, so I thought, why not make a tiny dress? And then I thought, why not make it for a cat? We have a few cats here, so there'll probably be more videos like this in the future, so let me know if you like it, and I'll make more. This is my kitty Mia. She's blind. Yeah. She's super sweet. So I just measured her and she was like super cool about it. I measured around for the collar, and then I measured her belly or her waistline. Never knew cats had a waistline. And then I measured around her little armpit and the armhole. Cat's arms are so weird, man. And then I measured how long I wanted the top of the little dress thing to be. And then I did how long the skirt would be. And then how wide the skirt needed to be. So moving on to the pattern making, I basically just drew a big rectangle. I really only had to draw half, but I drew the whole thing for some reason. And then I made the neckline kind of curved, like by like an inch. And then I contemplated for a while about how the heck I was gonna make an armhole in this thing. And I finally figured out, after some big brain time, that I could use my measuring tape to make a little circle of however much I measured before and just like mark it. Wow, that's a crooked part line. With the armhole done, I added seam allowance. So after I cut it out, I added the scallops to the bottom edge of it, and then I added seam allowance. And then I realized that I didn't make the neck hole small. Made it the same size as the waistline, which is stupid. So I just like went back and like cut a wedge out of it so that it didn't affect the waistline. It's not so weird saying waistline for a cat. So this is the completed pattern and my little drawing and my little swatches. So then it was finally time to cut out the lining and fabric. So I did the lining first, and I had to pin together the little yoke part of the pattern, so the body part, and then I just folded my fabric as small as I could get it so that I didn't waste any. After I kicked yoke out, I pinned it all down and then cut it out. I cut out the lining first so that I could try it on before I cut out the real fabric or the outside fabric to make sure it fit, because usually it doesn't fit the first time. So I kind of struggled to cut out the inside of the armhole piece. I kind of just made little pie wedges and then went back around and cut all those little triangles off. It's kind of satisfying to watch. I don't know about you. So then I grabbed Mia and tried my best to get her into this little lining. It was a little bit too small on the, not on the collar, but on the so-called waistline. So I added about an inch to the bottom and nothing at the top, and then I had to redraw the little scallop and then cut that out and cut it out of the lining again. This pattern took a lot more adjustments than I thought it would. Probably took me about 2 hours or more just to work on the pattern, not sewing or anything. And this is the new lining. So I grabbed Mia again and tried it on her. I still haven't mastered how to dress a cat, but luckily she's like super sweet and doesn't try to bite me or scratch me. So this one seemed to fit way better, and I tried to get her to walk around in it a little bit, but she didn't really want to move. She just wanted to get on my lap. Moving on to the outside fabric, I basically had all this left over from another project, and I just couldn't let go of it. And there's like barely enough usable pieces, but it was the perfect size for this little tiny little cat outfit. I cut out all the satisfying little triangle pie armhole pieces. And then I cut out the skirt, and it was pretty simple, just a little rectangle. Thank God it was a rectangle because this fabric is like super hard to work with. And these are the finished pieces all cut out. And here's Mia licking her foot. I know you all want to see that, so I gave it to you. So the first thing I did was finish the edges of the skirt. I just folded it over about 1/4 inch and sewed down the middle of that. So to gather the skirt, I sewed a sort of loose stitch about 1/4 inch from the edge. And then I tied off one end, and then I took the thread from the other side, just one thread, and pulled that. And here's what it looks like gathered. I sort of fudged up and didn't record me sewing this part, but it was pretty simple. I just sewed the yoke part to the bodice, I guess. And I made sure that the blue would be showing on the top. So then after that, I sewed the lining and the outside fabric together, right sides facing together. So I pinned that all together using like a ton of pins so that it would be easier to sew without anything shifting, especially on the scallop part. The scallops are kind of difficult to sew sometimes because you have to do a lot of adjusting and sewing a little bit and then lifting the foot and moving it. So after I sewed it, I had to flip it right side out. That took a minute. I always do it wrong and I pull it through the wrong hole, or like it ends up inside out even though I was trying to get it right side out. I don't know. So to finish the armholes, I just used some bias tape that I made out of another scrap fabric. I just sewed that around and then flipped it to the other side and top stitched. I just think bias tape makes everything look so nice and finished. Don't ask me why I'm putting so much work into this little stupid little dress for a little cat that never wants to wear it. Anyway, I pinned the skirt onto the inside of the bodice. I was planning on making it reversible, but I totally forgot to pin it all 3 layers together when I was sewing it. So instead, I just tacked it down on all of the corners of the scallops. I just went back and forth like 5 times on each corner. And yeah, it's almost done. I just trimmed all the extra little threads hanging off of the tacks, and then it was time to do the buttonholes. I really hate how buttonholes are supposed to be so easy and your machine does it for you, but every time I try to do it, it gets all stuck on the first one, or the first one's perfect, and then the second one is all messed up. But this time, it just wouldn't go through all the layers at the top. It just kept getting stuck, and like I just kept cutting it off. Thank God I didn't ruin the fabric. So I took a scrap piece of fabric and then I did like a test to see what was wrong, and it turned out perfect. I tried again a little bit lower, hoping that it would like avoid too much bulk, and I did it a little bit slower, and it finally worked after 3 tries. And then the other ones were perfect, and they worked easily. Here's a little close-up shot. It's kind of bright and hard to see, but it's kind of satisfying still. So after that, I just sewed the buttons on, and this is the finished product. Pretty freaking adorable. It was a total waste of time, but it's stupid cute. Finally, it was time to try it on Mia. I love how easy it is to just move her little limbs around and to like flop her upside down to button all the buttons. She really didn't know what to do at first. She just kept flopping. But with our matching outfits on, we were finally ready to go out into the backyard. There's nowhere to go. So we let her explore around the backyard and roll around in the dirt and try to ruin my hours of hard work. Yeah, she looks really cute. She walks really funny, but I think it's adorable. I had to unbutton the bottom button because she just wouldn't walk like that. She would just flop onto the ground or, I don't know, just stand there. Some of our other pets were really interested in like what the heck she was wearing. This is Mila, Mia's sister. And I decided, you know, she looked interested in the dress, so why not let her try it on? Big mistake. That was a big mistake. So I took it off of Mia, and as soon as I tried putting it on Mila, she just started biting it. And she was like clawing me a little bit. She's super sweet too though, so she didn't get angry, but she did start playing with it and start biting it all crazy. She's also a little too chonky for me to button it. But yeah, I think it's better suited for Mia. Hey again, thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this one with the cat clothes, leave a comment below, and if you want to see something more candid where I record the audio the whole time, let me know. I've been thinking about doing that. Just don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe, obviously, if you're not already. And then stay tuned for a little blooper. Thanks for watching.